Welcome to the Red Eye Hour. You are listening to Solo Stories by J.Meeks. This is Solo Stories number 16, Every Other Weekend. Meet Jay and Sarah, a couple with children, and their story begins in a quiet suburban town, but it quickly spirals into a web of secrets and manipulation. Jay and his ex-wife, Sarah, had a tumultuous relationship that eventually led to their separation. Despite their differences, they both loved their children dearly. However, the strain of their relationship took a toll on the kids, who often found themselves caught in the middle of their parents' arguments. The constant bickering and emotional tension created an unstable environment, leaving the children feeling torn and confused. Jay and Sarah's love for their kids was undeniable, but their inability to reconcile their differences cast a long shadow over the family. As weekends alternated between Jay's and Sarah's homes, the children struggled to find a sense of normalcy. Each parent tried to make up for the lost time, but the underlying discord was always present, lurking beneath the surface of forced smiles and weekend outings. In the midst of this upheaval, the children learned to navigate the complexities of their new reality, often wiser beyond their years. This is where our story begins, in a world where love and conflict coexist, shaping the lives of everyone involved. Jay Thorn's visitations from his kids had become a living hell. Since his divorce was final, they lacked obedience and respect. His kids were acting out and talking back and getting in trouble at school. In desperation, Jay answers a newspaper ad offering help for single parents. The ad was for a place called the Child Visitation Bureau. In the cavernous basement of an old courthouse, he discovers a Child Visitation Bureau that rehabilitates children for visitation by cloning. He reluctantly agrees and signs the paperwork. His wife, Sarah, was out of town for a couple weeks for her job, so this was the perfect time to do this. As the days went on, Jay could barely sleep. Thoughts raced through his mind on whether he just made the worst decision of his life. Jay reassured himself that this was best for his family and his own sanity. Maybe Jay was being a bit selfish. After the cloning process, the Bureau contacts Jay to come back to the lab to pick up his new and improved children. Jay was a nervous wreck driving to the Bureau when he arrived and was taken to a meeting room down a maze of hallways. He enters the room and takes a seat. One of the lab techs informed him they would be back shortly with his children. A few minutes later, they arrive with his children. Jay is overcome with joy and emotion because they look completely fine. The only thing is the emotions from his children were not the same as his. Once Jay arrives home, he calls Sarah and explains to her that they have to have a heart-to-heart talk. She gets back from her work trip. When she returns, they have a very long conversation about the decision that Jay had made. Sarah was irate with Jay and very upset. At this point, what could she do? She understood how the divorce was affecting the kids, and she just wanted to be okay at the end of the day. Jay and Sarah noticed subtle but unsettling changes in their children's behavior in the first couple of weeks. The kids seemed distant, their once vibrant personalities now replaced with eerie, robotic mannerisms. They no longer showed the same enthusiasm for their favorite activities and often spoke in a monotone voice, as if they were being controlled by an unseen force. J, ever the skeptic, initially dismissed these changes as a phase, a reaction to the stress of their fractured family life. But as time went on, the differences became too stark to ignore. Sarah, on the other hand, felt a growing sense of dread. She couldn't shake the feeling that something had gone terribly wrong, that the cloning process had altered their children in ways they couldn't comprehend. The children's eyes, once full of life and curiosity, now seemed vacant, almost hollow. Their laughter, once a constant in the household, had all but disappeared, replaced by an unsettling silence. Weekend visits turned from joyous reunions to eerie encounters, where Jay and Sarah found themselves interacting with strangers who looked like their children, but felt entirely different. In desperation, they sought answers, consulting with specialists and revisiting the cloning facility. But the more they searched, the more elusive the truth became. It was as if an invisible curtain had been drawn, separating them from the essence of their children. The unsettling changes in their behavior were a dark omen, hinting at deeper, more sinister secrets yet to be uncovered. This new reality cast a long, chilling shadow over their lives, leaving Jay and Sarah to grapple with the haunting possibility that their children might never be the same again. And so, they embarked on a journey to uncover the truth, unaware of the dark secrets that lay ahead. In the quiet suburbs of the 1980s, everything seemed perfect. The homes were cozy, the decor was charmingly retro, and life appeared idyllic. But beneath this veneer of normalcy, a chilling secret lay hidden. One day, Jay stumbles upon a dark secret that would change everything he thought he knew about his world. He soon discovers a dark secret. In a hidden laboratory, the Bureau conducts sinister experiments. They recycle real children, using their essence to create what they believe to be the perfect androids. These androids are designed to blend seamlessly into society, replacing the children who once lived. Determined to expose this horrifying program, Jay, our protagonist, delves deeper into the conspiracy. But the deeper he goes, the more dangerous it becomes. In trying to expose the program, Jay falls victim to reprocessing himself. He becomes another pawn in the Bureau's twisted game. Soon after this, a new Jay has emerged. Sarah can tell something isn't right with him. Now she wonders in fear if the Bureau got a hold of Jay. Meanwhile, the Bureau continues its facade, releasing new advertisements that promise the perfect family life. A new ad from the Bureau features "Have the perfect parents today." But behind these smiling faces and cheerful slogans lies a dark and disturbing reality that few are aware of. The question remains, will anyone ever uncover the truth and put an end to the Bureau's reign of terror? But there was one story that stood out among the rest, an unsettling tale of manipulation and betrayal. Jay, a devoted family man, was compromised by the Child Visitation Bureau through a series of manipulative tactics. Shadowy images of a man being isolated, looking distressed. They isolated him from his family and friends, making him vulnerable. Once they had him under their control, they used advanced cloning technology to create an identical copy of Jay. In a high-tech lab, a clone of Jay, emerging from a chamber, the real Jay was kept in a secure facility, while the clone took over his life. The after effects on the real Jay were devastating. Jay, sitting alone in a dark cell, looking broken and lost. He experienced severe psychological trauma, feeling a deep sense of loss and betrayal. The clone, on the other hand, seamlessly integrated into Jay's life, causing confusion and chaos among his loved ones. Jay's clone is interacting with his family, who look confused and unsettled. Jay's family, unaware of the sinister switch, besides Sarah, struggled to understand the sudden changes in his behavior. The clone, although identical in appearance, lacked the genuine emotional connection that Jay's family had cherished. Jay's ex-wife crying, holding a family photo. The real Jay, trapped in his isolated cell, could only watch helplessly as his life was stolen from him. The Bureau's actions had not only destroyed one man's life, but had also shattered the lives of those who loved him. Jay, in his cell, looking at a photo of his family. This deeply disturbing event raised questions about the ethical boundaries of cloning and the lengths to which organizations might go to manipulate and control individuals. In the end, Jay's story serves as a chilling reminder of the potential dangers lurking behind the facade of scientific advancement. The quest to play God comes with grave consequences, and the price of such manipulation is often paid in the currency of human suffering. Thank you for watching the Red Eye Hour. Stay vigilant, stay questioning,